you know, I'm probably one of the person that posts the most on Nextdoor are the council members. I think they all learn very quickly not to post there, because they'll get attacked. You know, I'll put a post out there and then not look at it, because that's what you have to do. You gotta put it out there, try to change the narrative, and as you guys know, you probably all Nextdoor, you see the personal attacks against me and my family. But that's okay. And it's very interesting on Nextdoor, because it's not okay, and it's just because I voted for the castle. That's the only reason why one person's attacking me personally and attacking my family. But I think it's interesting, when you go on Nextdoor, if you look at me, you would assume that, let's say that there's two camps. I don't think so. I think we're a city as a whole, and we're united. But if you look and you think of the two camps, there are people that say, I'm the old school Haydenville, I'm this and that and that. And then there's other people that say I'm the HCC, and I'm the coalition. And I think it's an interesting place to be, because it shows that I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to talk to people on both sides. I don't mind. I don't mind talking to people and trying to bridge that gap. Because that's what I've been doing these last 4 years, is trying to bridge these people together. And I think that's why I'm getting the accusations that I'm on both sides, is because of that very thing right there.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, I think that it boils down to, I think the leads need to be more proactive as far as managing Nextdoor, because I see a lot of content that the leads should have voted to take down before it even got posted. And I don't see that happening. I think that's why our first problem starts there, ineffective management of that social site. Secondly, I think there's a thing called, there are things called subjective, objective data, and then you have what's logic. I think if we focus on what's logic, I think that will help to counteract a lot of the disgruntledness or the bickering or the bullying, that I'm a term, that's going on next door. And it's just about respect. It's total about respect. If you have respect, that means that you effectively listen as well as actively listen. And I think we miss the premise of respect regardless. And that's why I read a lot on Nextdoor, but I don't respond. Because if that gets out into other cities about how we fight among ourselves, do you think, if I didn't already live here, do you think that'd be attractive for me to want to move to a city that does that?
Trying to tell you no, it doesn't.
Absolutely not. It's very much so as a black eye to the city when they see residents, neighbors, bickering among each other. It's very counterproductive. And the time is now for us to turn that around and stop it. And my plea for the leads, please provide an increased governance of Nextdoor, because you know what? It's getting bad.
Just one comment about the leads, I know this is off, but sometimes I know, first, you have to be on Nextdoor all the time, and I tend to stay off of it because I don't like the negativity. And then also, there's a lapse of time between when something's reported and when you get it. And sometimes multiple things will be reported, and they did not happen at the same time. I don't know what algorithm they use to push that out via email, but that's why sometimes I've seen things that were posted days ago and reported days ago, but I get it in my email like 3 or 4 days later.
Or a week.
Or sometimes not at all, things that you removed and I never got an email.
Yeah, I agree with that. First, I think the old adage that knowledge is power. I think one thing is that that leads to a lot of the bullying and stuff like that on Nextdoor is the fact that sometimes there's a lot of misinformation on Nextdoor, and then someone comes along and posts and has to post the facts to back up and send the conversation in a way that is the truth. But, you know, by then it has gotten completely out of control. And I'm not a proponent of social media. I'm on social media, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Nextdoor, and I comment on Nextdoor a lot because I like to try to disperse the facts in the community, and also I like to keep up with my neighbors because I love this town. But I hate social media because of things like text, and that's the same reason I don't like text. It's so easy to be misconstrued or misunderstood. I got in trouble with my wife the other day because I accidentally had caps lock when I texted, and she thought I was yelling at her. So now I make sure that caps is locked when I'm driving down the road. I mean, I don't drive down the road and text.
Good try to catch.
All right.
And, but,
You finished?
yeah, so pretty much I just think that you post and you make sure that it's, you know, that you get the facts out there, for one, and also you, I agree with a lot of what most of these folks said. It's tough to stop some of the things that are happening. It's tough to control other people, but the leads need to, and I'm a lead, but it's tough to control what other people are posting. But also, there's this misconception in Hapeville that, and I see it a lot, that people post and they're sitting there saying, well, nobody from council has posted, nobody has commented, I want a council member. I think a lot of people believe that Nextdoor is accepted as an official way for council members and the city to communicate with the citizens, and it's not. And there's a lot of council members that aren't on there. There's a lot of council members and the mayor who are on there, but they don't read it every day. And luckily, we're moving to where there are some agency accounts, and they post those. But the thing with the agency accounts is that they can only see what they post. There's several times where there's questions, and somebody's like, why doesn't the chief respond to this, or why doesn't the police department? But they cannot, and people don't realize that. So I think there's a lot of misinformation. I think that we need to do a better job of communicating some of the things that.
Sounds like education too,
Mhm.
on how to use it and what should be on
Yes, and
it. Okay, thank you all. We're getting close to our time, but now I must introduce Ms. Kim Schofield, who is a candidate for the House of Representatives, District 60. Ms. Schofield.
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins, for inviting me, and I've heard a lot tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I'm Kim Schofield. I live right around the corner across the bridge. So I've been here in Georgia for 23 years. I've lived on this side of town, off Crown Road, for 7 years. I live in Monticello Park. I have been under the Georgia State Legislature working with the Assembly for 10 years. I am a mom, I'm a small business owner, I work for Emory University School of Medicine, and I've been there for a number of years. The reason I got involved in this is because I was considered a citizen that was just tired of hearing all of this chatter, and not getting anything done, and so I am always a part of a solution and not part of a problem. So I started about 10 years ago under the Capitol, and I had an issue that I was raising, and I went down there and I called everybody under the Gold Dome and said, hey, my name is Kim, I want to come talk to you about this issue. And people said, oh, okay, well, a little bit interested, not interested, hung up the phone. I got in my car, went down the next day and said, hey, you know the person you hung up on? That's me, I just still want to talk about the issue. So I have worked for 10 years tirelessly in passing legislation. I've got bills passed in healthcare. So I fight for expanding Medicaid. I got a pill passed for people living with chronic disease. I'm very vested in, without health, none of this matters. So the #1 platform is to make sure we have a healthy community. The other thing that I'm very passionate and I pass bills on is the Rachel's Law Safe Harbor Bill for human trafficking. So that's something that we have gotten past this community, and I will continue to fight and work with. I also passed the Family Care Act, work with that, and that actually involves being able to protect working families when they have to take a sick one to the doctor or stay home with a sick child. So some of the things that I'm very vested in now, as we move, and we know we can get those things done, let's see what else we can do. Well, for this district, I want to make sure that we are increasing in economic development, bringing the right type of businesses here for the right reasons, and getting right results. The other thing is that education, stabilizing the educational system. Right now I'm in South Atlanta High School. I teach a class on civic engagement, and it was, again, I walked down there one day and said, hey, I've been on the board of 9 to 5. We're a social justice organization that does a lot of civic engagement in the community, workplace rights, ban the box, Family Care Act, and I just want to come talk to your students. And this is the Law and Social Justice class over at South Atlanta High School. He said, yeah, come on and talk to us. It was supposed to be a one and done. We finished out the semester, and now we're in again. So these students are 10th, 11th grade that have gotten on fire to being civic engagement, civically minded, and actually taking action. That's what we want to do in the city, in every high school. So The other thing is the economic development, the healthcare, affordable housing, stabilizing housing in this area. As you know, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, we're gold mining. People are coming here, they're looking for us, they're looking at us. But if we're not careful, we will lose a lot of the values that we have. And so I'm willing to work with everyone that has a vision and a vested interest in preserving the history, integrity, and legacy of a community. And the last thing is crime and safety. So when we were having some problems in Monticello Park, I didn't wait for anybody else to solve the problem. I called the police and I said, okay, I'm coming to do a ride-along. And I went around and I'm like, okay, listen, if anything happens, I just want you to know I can't run fast. So I'm gonna get us killed. I'm gonna get us killed. So I'm saying this to you, that everything rises and falls on leadership. You are the leader of this city. People are looking at you. Whether you win or lose, I know I can sense your heart, you're vested to stake your ground in here and fight. But you've got to get yourself on that I see it done under the Capitol all day long. I'm there because you need a strong voice that is going to take your voice down there and say, this is what we need. But you got to be more cohesive. And we can't get things done if everybody's all over the place. This is a very diverse community, things are changing, and we have to accept that bottom line. If you're going to move the needle forward, then you've got to have the vision to be one accord. I don't have to agree with everything you do, but I do have to be respectful because somebody's always watching. You need to be on social media. You need to know what people are doing. I don't care if you personally like social media or not, you need to know what everybody's saying. So social media is not an option. I'm going to take your voice to the Capitol. We're going to get things done in the city. We're going to do things right. We're going to do right things better. I can't do it if I don't get it. So we're looking good right now, but I'm here for you. And I will be your next voice and your state house representative for District 6. Now, I know it's Forest Park, College Park, it's Atlanta, and it's a little bit of Hayfield. Just how much I don't know. I'm told a little bit that it's because they redistricted a couple of years ago. So there's still a line. I could actually be in Hayfield right now and then be in Atlanta. So all I know is everybody's my people. Because I will help wherever I can help. It doesn't make a difference. So when you need me, I'm there for you. That's all I can say. So thank you for being a voice in the community. Thank you that we're getting it done. If you remember anything else, Kim stands for keep it moving.
I have two announcements before we close out. Senator Valencia C. is holding a press conference on Senate Bill 53. This bill would require public facilities that hold more than 1,000 people to have at least one adult changing station. Hartsfield-Jackson Airport already has it. Scottish Rite Hospital and Henrietta Eggleston Hospital all have changing stations for adults, disabled adults. When they are traveling, they need this facility. They can't go into a regular one, so they need a special changing station. And she's asking people to come down on October 26th at 10 a.m. to support. This is the press conference. So if you can, please go down. And for candidates and our guests, on Monday night, there will be a forum at Mount Pleasant Church here on Dogwood, sponsored by the Voter Education Empowerment Group. That's Monday night. You should have gotten your invitations already. You've not?
No.
Take it from me. This is your invitation. But I will send each of you something in writing as a reminder. Monday, the 21st.
That's the
23rd, the 23rd, Monday the 23rd.
That's Monday. Yeah.
6 o'clock? 7 o'clock.
What's the location?
Mount Pleasant Baptist Church on Dogwood.
May I ask a question? This is going to be posted online on Nextdoor. I would like to just identify who asked the questions here. That was Heather Glantz. Heather, can you raise your hand? Yeah, Linda Murray.
Linda Murray.
Murray, that's right. John Christian, I think.
Yeah.
Right. And Paul. Right. And I'm George Rogan. Okay. Just so people know who asked the questions.
Okay, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Weichert Realty for opening